What we measure, we can improve. That's how, as a coach or an English teacher, I find the best ways to help my learners succeed. Things can get tough, and improving isn't easy. The key is to assess the progress they are making, to know what they can do, so I can give feedback that will help build their confidence and keep them motivated. With Cambridge, assessment is integrated with learning, helping me measure and guide my learners' progress, so they learn what they need to succeed. To get the most from every moment, to help their worlds grow. Because Cambridge is where your world grows.
All right, guys. Well, that was a little video, yeah, on integrating learning and assessment, which I'm pretty sure you already do. Okay, so then let's go back to this. Start with Cambridge session today, which is aimed at helping you. Yeah, first of all, take a look at open world, understand what it is, and then how it works, so it can work to help your students learn English. All right, so I said it before, open world. So my name is Medardo Mendoza. Yeah, I'm a professional learning and development consultant at Cambridge University Press, Mexico, and it's a real pleasure to be with you guys today. Okay, so let's start off by sharing this podcast you might be familiar with. By the way, my colleague Josadak is sharing this link to the podcast so that you can go in and listen to it after the session finishes or whenever you have the time to do so. But guys, my invitation is don't miss the chance, don't miss the opportunity. Go listen to this podcast. There are many interesting topics, yeah, discussed on the podcast site. Now, let's take a look at some some little some little advice here for the session. So just remember that the session is being recorded. The recording will be released just after the session finishes for your reference. So just you just need to wait, yeah, 5 working days, up to 5 working days, so that you can fully access to it. And just make sure that the audio and internet connection are working properly throughout the session. And don't worry, guys, if by any circumstance you get out of the session because of these connectivity issues, please rejoin the session, and don't forget to scan the QR code at the end of the session so that you can receive your certificate of attendance. All right, guys, now let's get down to business. Yeah, so start with open world. Okay, so we'll now take a look, dive into our session, and to do so, this is the agenda we're going to cover today. So we're going to have a look at what open world is, what it brings to the classroom, components. Then I will take a look at a unit, and as we do, I'll share some ideas on how to teach with it. All right. So, but just before I got into the main session, I'd like to read where you're joining us from today. Where are you joining us from today, guys? Whereabouts are you? Will you please write it in the chat box? I'm in Mexico City today, so yeah. But how about you? Where are you joining from, guys? Where are you? Where are you hang Okay, so tell us. Come on, write it in the chat box. So Luca, thank you, Sylvia. How are you guys? How about the rest? Where are you joining from? Please write it in the chat box. No? Cancun, Sophia. Thank you. Who else, guys? Come on, share. Tell us, where you joining from? Toluca, Cancun. Come on, guys. Tell us. Coajimalpa, all right. Also in CDMX. Okay. Sí. Córdoba, Veracruz, Naucalpan. All right. Naucalpan. Okay. Okay. Nobody else would like to share where you're joining from? No worries, then you can do it, yeah, when you feel like. All right, guys. So now let's go back to open world. Okay, so um let's look at what open world is. Okay, so now I want to play a little video so that we can, yeah, have an idea of what
It is time to take your
it
students
is.
on a journey, pushing the boundaries of exam preparation into a world of self-confidence, new language and possibilities. Welcome to Open World, taking you further. Take the learning adventure to the next level. Break out beyond the usual and into the world outside. Prepare your students for the unexpected, ready to use their skills in any given situation. Give your students skills and confidence, ready to manage the challenges of language in the world of every day. Open World takes your students learning further on a fully supported exam journey with integrated mobile and digital content. A modern approach with grammar on the move videos delivers added flexibility to meet today's learning expectations. Open World supports your students' journey every step of the way. Push Yourself sections in every unit offer opportunities to take language learning further. Extending language and skills, your students can progress faster and go further. Next stop, B2. Prepare your students for their journey to exams and beyond. Open World, taking you further. It is time.
Okay, guys. So that is what is said in the on the video. That is open world. In a nutshell, open world is what we call a twofold purpose learning tool. It'll help students learn general English, and at the same time, it'll help them prepare for the examination. Yeah, so open world is covers levels A2, B1, B2, and C1 of the Common European Framework, and therefore the corresponding examinations A2 Key, B1 Preliminary, B2 First, and C1 Advanced. Okay, so but it's important to bear this in mind. Is a twofold purpose. So students learn general English, and at the same time they prepare for the exam. That is what open world is. Yeah, a coursebook that offers these ample opportunities to learn real world English, general English, and prepare for the examinations. Now, I want to show you. I want to walk you through the book, and at the same time, I'll be discussing some ideas on how this can be used in class, some teaching ideas. But of course, your teacher's book is full, yeah, is full of ideas, teaching notes on how to do it in class. Okay, so now we call it, yeah, the in open world we have what we call the exam journey. The exam journey simply refers to this pathway from day one to the exam day. So in open world, you see, I'm showing you, I'm displaying, yeah, the start of a unit. So we begin our units, yeah. We're not, I take the opportunity to say it, we're not reinventing the wheel, we know it. Yeah, we're simply proposing a way to reframe it perhaps in a different way. So we will start off by using this input-output principle. So like in this case, you see it. So we have input vocabulary, yeah, chances for the students to practice it, yeah. So here you can see, so students are faced with this vocabulary, then they're given the chance to see how it works in context, yeah. They have opportunities to work with it, to use it with the little or much language they know. Yep. So of course, yeah, the unit includes some images, especially at the beginning. The unit opener, like the one I'm showing here, getting away. See these two backpackers, yeah, two travelers, yeah, just standing on this high point, looking at the this mesmerizing view. Yeah, so you can start your students engaging with the unit's topic. Okay, so then I was telling you opportunities for them to practice. Yeah, they presented with this quiz in which they the new vocabulary is put into context. You see, yeah, you see these pointers to other pages in the book whenever it is necessary. Like in this case, they do the vocabulary exercises and they answer the quiz. They go and they compare the answers to the comments, the key at the back of the book. Okay, so that is how this unit begins. See, so we start away from the beginning. The students are faced with this real world language, and then the exam journey. Notice this, guys. Yeah, at the start of the unit, we already have this what we call training. Yep. So let me show you. Oh, sorry. What did I do again? I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry, guys. Can you see my screen again? I'm showing you the two-page display. Can you please confirm that you can view it? Oh, in the chat box. Oh yes. Ah, brilliant. Thank you. So I was telling you. So we're going to I want to show you this. See the exam journey. So this exam training, very well from the beginning, at the start of the unit, you have these sections which are called exam training. So this is to expose students, yeah, to the to the exam parts. Every single paper, by the way, guys, every single paper, every single part is covered in the exam journey. Yeah, so the initial stage of this exam journey is what we call exam training. So exposure to the tasks, yeah, so that they can later on work on an exam practice task. So exam training is exposure that comes at the start, at the beginning of the unit. Then these exam training tasks, which expose, as I said before, you can see here, they expose the learners to each question type, so that they can gain this confidence, yeah? So that when they reach to the exam focus, they are better prepared. So it's no surprise. So exam training, exposure, so practice, but then exam focus section. In the exam focus sections, at the end of the unit, students will have the opportunity to practice a full exam part. Okay, so I'll show you. This is the exam focus. See, so we have, this is the end of the unit. So they were previously exposed to the exam training. They had a look at it, and now it's time they got familiar familiarized with the exam question. Now is the time for them to do some exam practice. And look at this zip. So this is a whole page. This is, of course, the only thing that changes from the real exam is the format. Yeah, but in fact, this is the real exam task. Yeah, this one is taken from Open World V1 preliminary. Yeah, so this is part 2 of the reading paper. So zip, what I was telling you, we have a full exam task, together with a familiarization task in every unit. So the exam focus, the exam practice task at the end of the unit, of course, provides these exam facts so that students get familiar. They know what is expected from them, what the exam, this part of the exam evaluates. Yeah. So some facts, like in this case, in part 2 of the reading paper for B1 preliminary, the examiner describes the situation to you and shows. Sorry. What am I doing? I already skipped to the speaking bit. Sorry. So in terms of reading, so that they read the exam fact is that they read 5 descriptions of people. Yeah. They also read 8 descriptions of places of things, and you have to match each question with one of the 8 options. See, guys, so students are presented with what they need to do in the exam. And then these tips. Read the questions carefully and underline all the different things that the people require. Each person will have 3 requirements. Read the options quickly, for each person profile, etc. As you can see, guys, these exam tips is basically what we call exam strategies. Yeah. So because the skills are there. Yeah. The reading skills to do this task. Yeah. To identify the rhetorical organization of the text, to scheme and scan, all that to identify specific information. All those are the reading skills, but here the strategies and tips is how they can answer. So it's important, guys, that your students become aware, they become conscious about these strategies, that this is the way they need to do things, they need to answer the task when they face the real exam. So guys, invitation here is spend enough time on this section so that your students can get familiar, they can become aware, conscious, and familiar with these strategies. That is what is going to make the difference between succeeding, getting a good grade at exam or not. All right, guys. So that is the invitation. Then I was telling you, then that is for the reading, and now for the speaking. Yeah, same thing. So exam facts, what happens in the exam, what is expected from them. Yeah, so the examiner describes the situation to you and shows you some pictures. You have to discuss your views and opinions with another student. You will need to make suggestions and reply to the suggestions which the other student makes. So those are exam facts, what the exam is and what they are expected to do. Okay, and then some strategies, some tips how to do it. Look at and talk to the other student, not the examiner. Show interest in what the other student says and respond to his or her ideas. At the end of the conversation, you should either agree or disagree with the other student. Or agree to disagree with the other student. Sorry. Okay, guys. So, bottom line, this section in the exam journey, the exam focus provides you guys with these opportunities to work on strategy development. Exam strategies that, if you think of it, they can be used. Yeah, they're going to be useful for the exam, but they can be used in any other areas of their life. If they are at school, if they're going to pursue some studies, or they are already studying, having these strategies in the pocket, that'll make their lives easier. And of course, English will be more relevant because it will not be subject only to the English classroom. Okay, guys? So food for thought there. Consider these, bear this in mind. And that is for every part of the exam. Okay, guys? Now, that is what we call, yeah, the exam journey. Now, as you heard on video, the real word English. So open world, that's what we call it, open world, because it takes you further. It takes you beyond the classroom. Okay, so and the real world section in open world, guys, is this part of the unit that'll, I'm pretty sure that is going to make it different for your students, because here is where they're going to be faced with how English is used in real life. So they're all, as the section's title suggested, real world. It implies visiting a different places around the globe, like in this case, Auckland in New Zealand. Okay, so, and of course, a real life situation. Where can I stay? Where can I find accommodation? In this case, Auckland, but it can be anywhere in the world. Okay, so now this section, of course, is not only for students to get familiar with real world language, but also to continue working on language skills. So, like in this case, they'll do this reading. Okay, so they will do this reading task, and of course, in this reading task, students also put to use those strategies, those comprehension strategies they they deal with in the exam focus section. Okay, so everything is rounded up, everything is interconnected. Okay, guys. So now let's have a look at it. So in the real world, so where can I stay in Auckland? So they do this. Of course, needless to say, this reading, yeah, reading text, reading tasks in open world that are not exam focused, that are not exam related. Yeah, they follow the well-known pattern: pre, while, and post. See, pre-reading, before they read, the students do, for example, task task one. Who do you usually go on holiday with? What kind of accommodation do you usually stay in when you are away? What are the advantages of this kind of accommodation? See, already, this is my before they read, my pre-reading. And then look at the photos of types of accommodation in New Zealand and read the tourist information text once again. Yeah, it can be part of these strategies using visual content, so that I can make an inference of the possible content in my text. Okay, so pre, while, read the text again, write the correct accommodation for type for each sentence. Look at the word in pink. So this reading, reading tasks. Okay, so these reading tasks, will build on, little by little, so that you can come to connect, better said, connect the information in from the text with a video, and then work, with other people and produce something with that, something different with that information, like in this case, work in person, compare your notes, then watch again to check your ideas. Would you like to try bungee jumping? Why not? All these guys is comes by interleaving, interconnecting all these activities. This is what you're going to be doing with this in this section. But now let's take a little bit a closer look at it. So we'll, as I said before, we'll use both reading and listening so that we can get the real world close to our students in terms of information and of course language, in this case expressions, as you can see there on the page. For example, this one, phrases you might hear. All right, guys, I'd like you to write sorry, Sylvia, I just read your comment. Is it any better now, Sylvia? That is the screen okay now? Yes. Okay, I hope it is. Not very well. Is it only Sylvia, guys, who doesn't see this? Okay, guys. So is it any better now? Okay. Okay. But probably, Sophia. Okay. All right, guys. So I was telling you guys. So, and I was showing you this session. So this real world language. Okay. So phrases you might hear is one of the sections in the lesson. Let's try this task ourselves. Would you please write your answers in the chat box? Which one would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? Which letter, A, B, C, D, E, or F? Would you please answer it, guys? If you could just fill in your details here. What letter would that be? And then would you like to go ahead with that? So if I can just take your name, I've got you down for a value twin room. Which would you please write your answers in the chat box? Let's try it and see, because this is just a taste of what your students face. Okay, 1C, 2E, 3F. Okay, how about the rest? Four, I've got you down for a value twin room. If you just pop your card in there for me. Okay, I have a couple of 4A. Okay. So do we agree? Well, if you could just fill in your details here. 1C, 5D. Okay, yes, 5 is D, and 6, say 6B, so 4. All right, 4A, yes, 4A, 3, C, please write your name, etc. here, 2, 2E, would you go ahead with that? Okay, if you just fill in your details here, please tell me your name. Okay, so this is the kind of activities your students are going to face with in these phrases you might hear. And there's another one. Look at this one. Yep. Phrases that you might hear. See, like, I haven't seen you for a long time. You're right. Where are you doing that? Okay, so how about for these three? Which one would it be? Of course the rest of the conversation is been cut out, sorry, because but the idea is that you try only these three. So what would be number one? 1G, okay. How about number two? And number two, guys? 1G, Sophia, Elvis, okay. How about number two, guys? 1C, 2E, 3F, 4A, 5. Okay, so that was in the previous one, Mauricio. Thank you. Yeah, that is the key for the previous one. But for this one, which one is number two? Number two is C. I bet. Yes. And how about for number one? Sorry, for number three? For number three, guys? 3A? Yes. What about? All right, guys. So this is the kind of the kind of language students are faced with, and they manage, they use in the real world section. Okay, so the students will be prepared for the unexpected as they deal with these phrases, with this language. So they be preparing for the unexpected. So of course, we consider that it's important that the students are familiar with culture around the world. Yeah. So that if that happen to happen, they are in those places, those scenarios. It's not totally new for them, because at least they've seen it in the English course book, right, guys? So now this real world section, of course, is going to serve as a vehicle, the basis for these authentic language examples, as I said before, and that of course includes listening practice as they watch a video. So, but not only that, guys, as you can see, the section, the real world section, will finishes with a life competencies activity. So the activity, the task, is taken from our framework, our Cambridge framework for life competencies. You might have heard of it, but if not, guys, you simply go and Google Cambridge Framework for Life Competencies, and you can gain full access to it. At some point later on, I'm going to be sharing some activity cards which are mapped to the competencies in the framework, and you can use in class. Yeah, so that will be the practical, let's say, application of the framework in class. I'll be sharing with you in a few more moments Okay, guys. So this this last task, of course, as you can see, can be taken as a project. You can make some little adjustments and convert it into a project. So now, of course, as our students go through each unit, they'll have ample opportunities to work on grammar, vocabulary, and language skills, of course, and the exam preparation. That's why, as I said it before, Open World is a twofold purpose coursebook. Learn English in general, of course, with this feature of real world language, yeah, together with preparing for the exam. Okay, so let's have a look at this language and skills. See, so in the case of the grammar in Open World um, the grammar is presented through a video animation, so that you can use before, during, or after the class. And that is, I take the chance to bring this to the table. Are you familiar with flip learning? If not, you can do some research into it. There's lots of information about flip learning there online. So, because the bottom line is that you can use this section in Open World to try flip learning, because as it says here, yeah, the video animation can be used before, during, or after the class. If you decide to do it before the class, that's when flip learning takes place, or can take place, because the students don't need to be in class. They don't need to receive the grammar explanation presentation from you necessarily every single time. Okay, so they can simply watch this video. Look at it.
Grammar on the move. Comparative and superlative adjectives.
Hi. Where do you like going on holiday, and when?
We like going to the beach. September is the best time to go because it's a lot quieter than in August and it's cooler too.
I like driving to nearby cities for short breaks. I don't like flying, so I go by car. It's a lot cheaper and easier. It's the most comfortable way for me to travel.
We always go skiing in the mountains in February. It's more expensive than in December, but the snow is better. We stay near the highest mountain. Look at these sentences. It's a lot quieter than in August and it's cooler too. It's a lot cheaper and easier. It's more expensive than in December, but the snow is better. We use comparative adjectives to compare two things. Comparative adjectives are usually followed by than. Look at these sentences. September is the best time to go. It's the most comfortable way for me to travel. We stay near the highest mountain. We use superlative adjectives to say that in a particular group something has the most of a quality. We make comparative adjectives by adding er to short adjectives. For example, small becomes smaller. We use IER for two-syllable adjectives ending in Y. For example, heavy becomes heavier. We use more and the adjective for longer adjectives. For example, expensive becomes more expensive. There are three irregular adjectives. Good becomes better, bad becomes worse, and far becomes farther or further. We make superlative adjectives by adding EST to short adjectives. For example, small becomes the smallest. We use IEST for two-syllable adjectives ending in Y. For example, heavy becomes the heaviest. We use the most and the adjective for longer adjectives. For example, expensive becomes the most expensive. There are 3 irregular adjectives. Good becomes the best, bad becomes the worst, far becomes the farthest or the furthest. Let's look at some more examples. The Shard is taller than the Eiffel Tower. Football is more popular than rugby. The most expensive country in Europe is Switzerland.
Okay,
Comparative and superlative adverbs. We have to plan more carefully when we go on holiday in September because a lot of...
Okay. So guys, that is the grammar on the move section. So, and what I was telling you guys, look at this. I'll go back to share this teaching idea. Okay. So if you think of it, if you assign these for homework, see? If you assign this for homework, of course with the pertinent time window, is not from today for tomorrow. Yeah, I think you need to give some a bit larger space in between. So, but if you assign this for homework, guys, your students will have the opportunity to watch because they can access to this grammar on the move by simply scanning the code. Yeah, they simply scan the code on the book, and then they get to this video. So if you think of it, students will have the opportunity to do it, to play the video as many times as they wish. They will have the chance to pause it, to rewind it, to fast forward it, yeah, so that to make sure that they understand, yeah, the information they need to complete this. And if you notice in the video, all those summarizing, yeah, the summarizing rules, comments, so that'll help your students grasp, understand the meaning, yeah, of this, and the meaning and use of this, and form of the target grammar item, yeah. So, food for thought. They say that 60% of an English classroom can be not only English classroom, but in general, they say that at least 60% of the time goes into explaining something. Okay, so now imagine if your students, yeah, did this at home, so that when they come back, yeah, to class, yeah, you would simply need to standardize to confirm that understanding, to go over doubts if necessary, but then you can easily get them to apply it. See? So some food for thought, guys. It might save time, yeah, if you use the video, the grammar video before the class, if you assign this section in the book, yeah, for homework. All right, guys. So now let's move on to the next one. Okay, so in the book you also have this section. It's one of the features in Open World, the push yourself. Push yourself, so offers students the opportunity to answer a task at a higher level, so that the confidence, yeah, is boosted. So if you are working teaching with A2 key, then the push yourself would be B1, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So that whatever the result is, yeah, whatever the result is encouraging, because even if I didn't do that well, I could still think about, okay, so well, never mind, it's fine because it's higher my level. See, but imagine if I get I don't know, 6 correct out of 10, that is encouraging, right? Or that can be at least encouraging, right? So that will be the push yourself further. See? So what I was telling you, students can choose to extend their practice to C1 if they are B2, and so on, so for C1, we've had the chance to do it at C2. See? So that is a feature in in the book that is, I think, is important to highlight. Tip B2, that will be C1, yeah. C2, C1 will be C2. Students, your students will have the chance, yeah, and to go check in the book. At the back of the book, they have access to these three sections: the grammar reference, the writing bank, and the speaking bank. So, whenever pertinent in your book, in the student's book, there will be pointers to go and check those sections at the back of the book. All right. So now, what components have we got for Open World? So we have students book. By the way, guys, before I continue talking about it, these components may not be that, yeah, or might be a little bit confusing for you. In order to gain this fine detail of the components, you can approach my colleagues in the sales team. Yeah, my colleagues, the ones who serve your school. From them, you can get more precise information about this. Is in general. So the components, the series of students book available with or without answers, online practice and online workbook available with or without answers. And for you teachers, you have your teacher's book with downloadable resource pack, presentation plus test generator. So if tomorrow there's a session on Cambridge One, there you will be shown how to access to the materials you teach with, so that you can explore, you can take a deep look at it. So then for you guys, we said we have Presentation Plus, the digital version of the student's book. And now, what I like to do now, guys, is I'd like you to scan this. Yeah, scan this code. This will get you to the life competencies adult activity cards. Okay, please scan the code. Or if not, you simply Google life Cambridge framework of life competencies activity cards. Yeah, and then you can gain access to them. But if not, through this code. Okay, so these are the activity cards for adult learners. And look at these, guys. These activity cards, as I said it before, these cards are the practical use of the framework in terms of my teaching. Yeah, what can I do? So the framework is a set of descriptors. Yes, well done, well structured. Yeah, but how can I make it happen in my class? To do it, we have created these activity cards. Yeah, they cover every one of the competencies in the framework. See? So, for example, this is an example of creative thinking, one of the life competencies in the framework. So, creative thinking, finding connections, preparing for creativity. So, after a reading or listening task in the coursebook, what reading or listening task? What coursebook? Generic, as you can see. Yeah. Give each learner a piece of paper and then ask them to draw an outline of the hand in the middle of the paper. Write the following questions on the board and ask learners to reflect on the content of the text and think about the questions. See? So that is for creative thinking after any reading or listening, no matter if it is A2 key, B1 preliminary, B2 first, or C1 advanced in Open World, you can apply this idea. All right, guys? Second idea, life competency, critical thinking, evaluating ideas and arguments. Once again, use a triangle framework like the one below to encourage learners to evaluate arguments or opinions they encounter in coursebook text. See? So applicable, perhaps not for every single text, but just take a look at it. Yeah, go and check which one can be used for this purpose and try it. You'll be helping your students develop critical thinking skills. Okay, now learning to learn, managing attitudes and emotions, taking control of own learning. Okay, so at the start and end of a lesson or longer task, such as a coursebook project, ask learners to write the sentence in the notebooks and complete the gaps in a way that is true for them. Encourage them to share and discuss their sentences with a partner. Today, I feel about learning, but I would feel differently if, because, see, learning to learn. Okay, communication, using a variety of language and communication strategies to achieve a desired effect. See, so you only need to use to flick through the activity cards, yeah, and then check in the book in Open World, yeah, where you can use them and go for it, guys. You will be killing not only two birds with a stone, but several birds with a single stone. Okay, Open World will help you develop language skills, language exam skills, and life competencies. Okay, guys, so that your students can become effective language users. Okay, so collaboration, social responsibilities, emotional development. Okay, so all the competencies, yeah, are included in these activity cards. Now you have them, guys, use them. Okay, there are plenty of them. Now, guys, you might, as a conclusion, yeah, what has all this got to do with teachers? Guys, with Open World, you kill two birds with a stone. Students learn English, prepare for the exam, and now I just showing you they also develop life competencies. Yeah, so you don't need to look for exam preparation material. Everything is there, guys. You guys have got both training exam mode, course material. When you explore Cambridge One, guys, you'll see that everything you need for your students to learn English and prepare for the exam is here, and also to develop their life competencies. So you receive material for face-to-face and online teaching. Online teaching is now irrelevant, but however we still keep it, yeah, because there are some few, very few teachers, but they still teach online, yeah. So you can take advantage of your students' mobile phones, grammar on the move, yeah, and of course that even be useful for flip learning, so and students can become more motivated. Guys, it's time for questions. If you have any, please write them in the chat box. I'll be helpful. I'll be glad to address your questions. Okay, if no questions, then, or if, don't worry, but write your question if you have one. I'll keep an eye on in the chat box. But meanwhile, let me just share, yeah, the code to the link to your certificate. My colleague Josadak is also sharing the link in the chat box, so that if you cannot scan the code, then you can click on the link in the chat box and gain access to your certificate. All right. Thank you, Mauricio. Okay, so Josadakis kindly share the link to the certificate. The hours, authors estimate a class contact something in between 90 to 120 hours, Silvia. 90 to 120 hours, that is class contact. What is advice suggested by the authors? Not at all, Sylvia. So that is the certificate of attendance, guys. And please, this one is going to be very helpful for us. So we'd like to hear how we did today. Yep. So bear in mind that your feedback will help us better understand your needs and continue to support you throughout your teaching journey. So not at all, guys. It's been my pleasure. So guys, yep. So also this link to the survey will be shared by my colleague Josadak in the chat box, so that you can share your insights about it. You too, Pablo. Have a good one. Thank you. Okay, Josadak is shared the link to this survey, so that you can share your insights about our session today. Thank you, Sofia. All right, guys. Well, as there's no questions, no further comments, thank you very much. Yep, we ended the session 3 minutes earlier. Yeah, so for you to go and enjoy the rest of your day. Meanwhile, guys, happy teachings, and I look forward to seeing you soon again, hopefully next time in person. Okay? Happy teachings, guys. Bye-bye.